I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Guys, yesterday we had a live transmission talking about COVID, discussing what's been happening, things going out of hand. And right here in this last transmission, I said Spain is going to overtake China by tomorrow, and look what happened. Guys, don't forget to set reminders for trends in the housing market or Mike in the Night. Don't forget to set reminders, and don't forget to watch the 6 hours long Mike in the Night-a-thon that was streamed a day ago. Don't forget, that was 6 hours long. I think I had more call-ins than I ever did in one show. I think I had 20, maybe 25 plus call-ins, easy. And thank you for everyone that contributed to that. Also, guys, don't forget, links up top here. Thank you to all my new Patreon supporters that have jumped on Patreon. I really appreciate your support, guys. It means a lot to me. Come and buy me a coffee if you'd like, $1 a month. And Teespring promo is Stay Safe, STAYSAFE. You could save 10% on anything here on the store, guys. So stay safe, one word, in the promo here for the Mike Martins shop. Thanks for supporting the transmission. Now, let's go over the COVID numbers. We have 775,748 cases, and we got 37,109 deaths. And these deaths are hugely flawed because we have China in here. We need to remove... Thing is, we got to remove China from here. The problem with China skewing the numbers, because Spain has just overtaken China, and China is where the outbreak of the virus took place, right? So this is not working here. And they have 31 new cases. I don't think so. And four deaths. Yeah, we all know China's lying. So we've been saying that for a long time, right? So that's old news. But let's go over here. I want to go over here to new cases. So USA, Spain, France, Italy, 4,000. That's the average they've been having. They're over 101,000 cases now. Germany moving up the ranks. Iran, you're going to see Iran slowly fall off the list too because of their government policies. You'll see Iran fall off the list too and show their supremeness. You don't see North Korea on here either. So then UK will follow next. Turkey, I see it slowing down. Not because it's slowing down. I just see them slowing down the output of numbers. And then Belgium moving up. Canada's going to move up a lot. And that's whoever they test, because I think Canada's severely under-tested. Switzerland, Netherlands, Austria, Israel, all the way to Portugal, and then Sweden, then Brazil. So countries in the southern hemisphere are like Peru, Colombia. They have lower numbers. Yes, they are all also under-tested, but they are going into fall/winter in the next couple of weeks. So let's keep that in mind, right? They're going to go into flu season. So let's go to this now, this map here. It's a really good layout here. It shows you how it's going. So basically the northern Italy, where they're making those Gucci wallets and they have migrant workers up there from China working up there. So what happened was it spread out here, moved its way to southern Italy, made its way this way towards the Lusitania. So now you see Spain on the map now with high risk. So then you got Italy, right? Then you got Spain, France, all these countries. Germany is right here. They're all in the top 10 here. So it's moving west. Anything moving eastward towards the Iron Curtain, well, the former Iron Curtain, having less and less cases, because who's going to go to Russia in the winter, right? So everything's moving towards the Lusitania, towards Portugal here, towards the warmer weather here in the south of the Algarve. So it's all moving this way. Now, it's taken time for it to appear in the United States, right? So it's taken time for it to appear in the United States. United States and Canada still, if you've been following the channel, need 1 week, 1 day now. We're at 1 week, 1 day before it goes full-blown hockey stick, like Supreme Cannon says. It's going to go hockey stick, and it's going to go fast. So there it is. There's the United States brighten up like a Christmas tree here, and then Canada just showing a few dots here. Canada is not breaking down the region, area, and location, where in the United States you could select a specific region and off a specific highway, off a specific area, and you could find out the total cases in those areas. And California is blowing up big time, and so is New York. We covered New York last night, guys. There's just so much to cover with COVID. So if you want to go to last night's show, it's right there, Cove Cove in the USA. You can watch it there. Italy, and then the story before that one was Italy reports less deaths. And then Canadian COVID update. We can't have too many, and the new virus in China just showed up too. It has a little new sign on it, like new on special. But yeah, that's what's happening, guys. So Spain passes China in COVID infections as world struggles with containment.
De la defensa. El total son 85.195 casos positivos notificados al Centro de Coordinación de Alertas. Esta es la cifra acumulada desde el inicio de la epidemia. Y el número de acumulado de personas que han necesitado UCIs es de 5.231 con 7.340 fallecidos. Desde el día 25 de marzo estamos observando como un cambio de tendencia en el incremento medio de los casos diarios. De hecho, desde el día que se iniciaron las medidas de distanciamiento social generales en toda España, del 15 al 25 de marzo, el incremento de casos medio era como de un 20% y desde ese día es de un 12%.
That's Policía Nacional. That's the police there. What are they doing there? What is that? It looks like a generator to give power of some sort. Oh, I know what it's for. It's for that. So they're doing what China did, trying to disinfect just trying to disinfect everything. That's huge, 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 huge. So Spain passes China, so we know that. In an abrupt turnaround, the U.S. President Donald Trump extended lockdown measures across the United States as deaths in New York from the new COVID passed 1,000. Spain on Monday became the third country to surpass China in infections after United States and Italy. With the population of only 47 million to China's 1.4 billion, Spain's tally of infections reached 85,195 on Monday, a rise in 8% from the previous day. Spain also reported 812 deaths in the last day, raising its overall vitalities from the virus to 7,300. Guys, keep in mind, China's lying. So if Spain has that much, which China has 1.4 billion, technically, China should have, according to this, with the numbers that I'm getting here, China should have had, wow, really? 103 million infected in China. There should have been 103 million infected in China. Wow. And going on against Spain's population against a 1.4 billion ratio, roughly, right? Wow. Okay. The health system in Italy and Spain have been crumbling under the weight of caring for so many desperately ill patients at once. The two European nations have more than half the world's 34,000 deaths from the virus and has upended the lives of billions of people in devastated world economies. So here it is. Italy has reported 97,689 infections and 10,799 deaths. So yesterday it was at 9,000 deaths, and they surpassed it. Man, this is scary. It's almost like a bad dream, a nightmare, you know? Spain's hospitals are at their breaking point as COVID-19 cases mound. In Madrid, Spain overtook China on Monday. We know that. Spain and Italy make up. We know that. In a situation unimaginable only a month ago, Italian officials were cheered when they reported only 756 deaths in one day. Italy has 97,689 confirmed infections, but said the number of positive cases in the last day increased 5.4%, and the number of deaths had dropped about 10% a day since Friday. And we covered that too. Now, here's the deal with that. My friend Massimo, who's like a frontline guy there for me in Italy, he told me straight up. He told me, and he said, Mike, they're not counting the people that are dying at home, where families are going to check on them and they find them dead in their homes. Okay? They're not counting the people that if they get moved, they will die. They're not counting those people either. Right? So there's a lot of things they're not counting here. So I'm not trying to say Italy is not doing their job. They're doing their best. But there's a lot more that meets the eye that people need to understand. what they're going through. They're going through a lot right now. Spain's COVID death toll surpasses China. We got this already. Let's see what this says here.
Day, pushing its death toll above that of China for the first time. With over 3,400 fatalities, Spain now has the second highest number of deaths globally after Italy, where over 6,800 people have died. Spain is struggling to cope with the soaring number of infections, and public services are overwhelmed. Police have set up testing tents in a bid to cope, and members of a Spanish military unit have disinfected nursing homes where dozens have been found dead across the country, health centres and public spaces, including a fish market and a port terminal.
Fish market.
An Olympic-sized ice skating rink in Madrid has even been turned into a makeshift morgue. Spanish medical staff, who themselves account for thousands of infected cases, have taken out lawsuits against the government, complaining of a lack of basic protective equipment like masks, scrubs and gloves. The Spanish army has asked NATO for ventilators, protective gear and testing kits. Spain is in the middle of a 15-day nationwide lockdown, which is likely to be extended to 30 days.
Yeah.
Schools, bars, restaurants and most shops are closed. Social gatherings are banned and people are confined to their homes.
That's right. So, territories with confirmed COVID viruses, it goes into the deaths surpassing China, Spain, and here it is, guys. So here it is. This is what's happening. Here you got Italy, right? In the middle of the... let me see if I can zoom that in a bit. Give me a sec here. Yeah. Here, in the middle of the Mediterranean, you have Italy, right? Now, Italy, what happened was that the cases started moving this way, up, and moving down this way towards Lusitania. So Spain's gotten hit. They're all these are going to start lighting up like Christmas trees soon. You're going to get less movement towards the east. Yeah, there's less movement in Europe, eastern, towards the east. Warm weather, everyone goes to the south of Portugal. And Portugal somewhat has it, just like England, somewhat contained. Same thing like Switzerland and Austria, somewhat contained. But Spain, France, Germany, and Italy, they're in hot water right now. I really, really pray for them. I really pray that they could figure something out real soon, because this ain't looking good. And then now that it's starting to blow up in America, you got a lot of silent carriers. I'm guessing maybe 160 to 250 million silent carriers that don't know they have it. And they're still shopping and going out and getting supplies, because a lot of them haven't been, like myself, my family, we've been pretty much in lockdown for the last, I don't even know. It's like we're at the end of March already. So I don't even know. It's been like 2 weeks. I closed my shop. And I closed my eBay store, so I'm no longer shipping. So I'm no longer going out, right? I've been practicing my karate and doing other stuff. I do get stuff in from Amazon from time to time, but I do spray it down outside, open it outside with gloves, and leave the box outside and bring the contents inside. So I do that too. I do spray stuff down outside of the house to make sure I'm not bringing anything inside. So here it is, territories with confirmed COVID. So there's a lot of under-tested areas. Like I think Australia is going into flu season. So is New Zealand going into flu season. And so are these little islands down here. They're all going to be entering into flu season in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be very interesting. We're heading into summer right now. It's spring. It's gorgeous outside. It's sunny. It's like 18 centigrade outside. I'm going to play some hockey with my kid in a bit. But yeah. So it's going to be very interesting. Let's keep going here. Spain's health crisis chief tested positive for COVID as infections top China's. So here it is.
The morale really in Spain is at an all-time low because of those daily figures, the record numbers of deaths. That makes it difficult for the government and the health authorities really to point to what they see as the optimistic data, which is the fall in the rising number of new cases. They say that the curve is levelling off, and they say in some regions the peak of the figures of number of new cases and deaths may even have been reached, but it's difficult to sell that.
Has it been reached, guys? Comment below. Let me know.
To a public that has spent now 2 weeks entering its third week in lockdown with these record numbers of deaths. The government said with Easter fast approaching, the cruelty of this virus is at its most bitter moment. And they say that they can't afford to have people relax the measures of lockdown, to start to leave their homes and to risk pressure on the intensive care wards, many of which are already at breaking point. The health officials say 9 of the 17 autonomous regions in Spain are really struggling to get those intensive care ward units able to deal with the
Are we going to see a breaking point in hospitals? Some countries, they'll start seeing breaking points. We'll just everything becomes abandoned hospitals because they're just, I don't know. I don't want to go there. So I'm not even going to go there. We are naked against the virus. Tales of despair from Spain's hospital front line. As patients lie on floors and nurses make gowns from rubbish bags, health workers vent their fury at the government. Fatality, slow to react. Well, the government's very slow to react with these things. You know, it's government, right? It's governance, right? Ever have to wait for a check from the government that they mistakenly overcharged you on taxes and you have to wait so for to get a refund? Man, you can wait up to months to get your money back. With its lush indoor gardens and ornate pavilions, the red carpet area, Madrid's IFEMA Convention Center was the impressive backdrop of Spain showed the world last December when a country took on last-minute hosting duties to cope the COP climate summit. What? Who cares? Last week, climate changes. Look, it's going to rain tomorrow. Climate changes, guys. Last week's spotlight, once again, was for a grimmer reason as Spain becomes an increasingly worrying hotspot for global pandemic. The IFEMA Center has been turned with help from the military into the country's largest hospital. Inside, the thousands of beds in a row, precisely spaced rows. There it is. They're building more and more. We'll just got to cut the music there so we don't, the nurses, doctors.
La limpieza por nuestra parte estamos dando el 100%, no el 200%, porque sí que es verdad que tenemos personal para ello, pero claro, pasa como en todos los gremios, no tienes todo lo que deseas.
Estamos un poco saturados, porque como hay tanta demanda de pacientes, no damos abasto. Entonces, el material está llegando y eso es bueno, pero necesitaríamos más personal.
Venga, Isabel, a recuperarse, ¿eh?
Patient recovered.
Venga, ¿coge la historia?
I'm just afraid of reinfection.
Estamos llegando, no sabemos exactamente cuándo tendremos la confirmación con los datos a los que vamos accediendo, pero sí que estamos llegando ya al pico de esta curva que tanto nos preocupa. En algunas zonas del país ya probablemente están incluso superándolo, pero debemos ser muy precavidos porque estamos hablando siempre de datos preliminares.
In the preliminary testing we've been doing. Man, I hope these guys are right. I hope that they've seen the peak of it. I really hope to God they're right. Footage of Madrid's hospital overflowing amid COVID-19 crisis. This is Euro News. Let me lower this. Hospitals in Madrid are overflowing with COVID-19 cases. Wards full are COVID, which are lined up with patients. Luckier one gets a bed or a chair with armchairs. Some are lying on the floor on mats. In the Madrid region, tens of thousands stay home with more mild symptoms. But the overflowing hospitals show the situation is desperate. Well, I hope Spain's right, man. I really do. How Spain became a hotspot for the COVID? Let's find out.
Every night, Spaniards gather on their balconies to applaud the nation's healthcare workers, but little do they know just how much they deserve it. Not only are the hospitals short on space, frontline healthcare workers say they are dangerously short on protective equipment.
Do you feel safe at work?
No del todo.
Not completely. It reaches a point where we don't stop to think about it. Otherwise, we wouldn't go in to see the patients, and we need to treat them, he says. Eduardo Fernandez is an ICU nurse and a union rep who says staff are forced to reuse single-use masks because there simply aren't enough. Already, more than 1 in 10 people in Spain with a confirmed coronavirus case are healthcare workers.
That's not good.
I'm not surprised at all, he says. In fact, I'm sure the numbers are higher because they don't test us. The protection measures are decreasing as we are running out of material. And now, well, we're using garbage bags.
You have to be pretty desperate to use a garbage bag as a medical gown.
He says it's a desperate measure, but it's better than nothing.
Ajustando la bata por dentro.
His union created this how-to video to teach staff a skill they never learned in medical school. The thicker the bag, the better. Another doctor, fearing repercussions, agreed to speak with us anonymously. He says he's exhausted, overwhelmed, and even showing mild coronavirus symptoms. But he has no choice but to show up for work. The situation at the hospital is saturation way beyond 100% capacity, he says. It's around 180 to 200%. This video shows patients lying on the floor at a Madrid hospital. The Madrid Health Department confirmed its authenticity, but says it shows only a snapshot in an especially busy time, and that conditions quickly improved. Hotels and even a convention center in Madrid are now housing patients. The doctor tells us in his hospital there isn't enough medication, and both protective equipment and ventilators are being rationed.
What has been the hardest thing for you personally?
To decide who survives and who you can't give the resources to, knowing that many of those people with mechanical respirators and proper intensive care units could survive, he says.
Yep. Medical workers in Spain and Italy overloaded with more of them catch the coronavirus, so medical workers are getting more and more sick.
A staggering 723,000 cases worldwide and 34,000 deaths. Almost every corner of the world has been affected, and it won't be long, Francis, till we pass 1 million cases. In Italy, the number of daily deaths fell slightly from 889 to 75.
Those military trucks, guys, those military trucks you're seeing there, those military trucks are actually going to pick up coffins.
But the overall death toll, still the largest in the world, keeps rising. Now over a startling 10,800 people have died there, and with over 97,000 cases. Cemeteries are overflowing, forcing churches to store the dead as they wait cremation, while families aren't even allowed to attend funerals, leaving the dead with very little dignity. Italy has also deployed helicopters as an eye in the sky to sort of enforce these locks down for people that aren't abiding by them. And the situation...
Yep, and that's that, guys. Spain is in a lot of trouble, guys. So it's going to keep moving. Let's go back to our map. I'm going to show you guys what's going to happen going forward. So here we go. Let's see what Iceland's at, because we've been following Iceland, because Iceland had 1 case when we started. And they have 1,000 confirmed now, 2 deaths. 157 recovered. But people are recovering in Iceland. That's good. Okay, so let's go here. So it's going to move. It's going to move. It's going to make its way this way. Then from here, from the Gibraltar, it's going to make its way through Africa like this, like a huge snake. It's going to go all the way down to Portuguese Africa, to Angola and Mozambique, and then down to South Africa. It's going to make its way from the north, a bigger presence from the north, believe it or not. A lot of people are saying it's going to come from South Africa. No, it's going to come from the north. The north is going to bring it down from Europe. And America is, because of the open flights to China, they closed them off early, but Canada still has open flights to China. So It's going to be very interesting to see what happens up here in the Great White North up here. But then here in Central America, it's going to be very interesting because these guys here are going to go into flu season soon, and that's why their numbers are like you're going to start seeing Brazil have a hell of a June, July, August. So, not looking forward to any of this. I hope this disappears just as fast as it came up. I think what it is China's been lying about everything for the last millennia, last 100 years, so since they formed their Communist Party. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, guys. I'm looking forward to reading. I'm actually looking forward to reading your comments. Stay safe. Promo, stay safe. One word. Buy something from the Mike Martin store. Lots of cool swag for you guys to pick up. And don't forget to so buy me a coffee on Patreon. All links up top here on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Big hug, and set your reminders for upcoming shows on the channel. Thank you.